No.
You know you're not ready.
Of course, and you're going to start anyway. This is the Daily Dose of Dopamine, and I'm Susan, and that's Robert, and we pride ourselves on not having an agenda and really not knowing where we're going. And I actually, really, truly don't have a clue about
Talk to
what's
me about
coming.
this number.
Three, the power of three. You must have been watching an interesting series on television than what I've been watching.
Our friend's Ted Lasso. We know
Our
Jason
friend.
Sudeikis. Shout out, right? This is a
Oh,
man who's walked in some familiar grounds for me. Certainly at a different level, but man, he got to start in comedy sports, where I'm co-founder of Las Vegas's team, and he played with Second City, and I played on the Las Vegas team there too. I should say I was in the training system. I never got to the main stage. Let's not start rumors, but I loved him. It was great, and you know, this is a man who loves sports and has taken a turn with this character of choosing to put kindness in the world. You know, and is as shocked as anybody that kindness is being respected and admired and just consumed the way it is.
and he's so consistent, and it's so easy for him. He's not trying; he's just being himself, and the message filters out from him. It flows and affects people around him.
What
It's
was the
not.
line from I think it was you sent me the podcast, right? The beautiful NPR podcast he did, right?
Yeah,
And he said he was basically tired of being the snarky guy. It was something like that.
that was the yeah, that was the title.
Yeah, and it was right at the end of the interview. And you know, you look back at his work and you can see a lot of acidic characters. And you know, he did them well. He was good at them. And yet somehow it began to corrode, apparently. And it's not that he, you know, probably would never play one of those again, but this was a different way of expressing him.
Well, it told me that hour and a half NPR interview told me he really is that lovely of a human being
Yeah.
that we see in the form of Ted Lasso. And my husband said to me a couple nights ago when we were watching the most recent and latest episode that has dropped, with like almost angst, agony, is like, how are we going to not have this in our future? How can this not just come back and keep going? Because
Right.
it's so,
Yeah.
well,
And
it's, yeah.
the world of Lasso fans is on edge for the idea that they keep pitching what they've said from the beginning. This is a 3-season show. That's the arc. Whether or not that is, we'll see. What we're seeing, going back to 3, because that was our number we started with, was they have brought up the magic of that in the 6th episode, when Ted says he feels stuck, and the team is just in, what do they call it, the pineapple percussions, the dole drums.
Yeah, yeah.
So good,
Cornball, but
so good. And you know, he and Beard play all the time with words, and you know, on the one hand cornball, the one hand, you know, yeah, puns, whatever. On the other hand, what I'll say about the value of that is it's like them picking up the world and flipping it on its end, just to look at it differently, just to throw you out to go, wait, what? And to help you shift your perspective.
yeah, because
There's
you hear it and then you get it and then you're laughing at a whole new thing.
That's what Ted does. He shifts perspectives on people. He shifts their perspective. He brings them in through kindness, through humor, through compassion. He's got all of these things on his tool belt, right? And he seems to wield them really both easily and without a lot of care either. He just puts it out there.
He brings it on, actually. Do you remember the press conference at the very beginning of this
Yeah.
season when the press all want to attack him and he he just goes with it and says, "How dumb am I?" and
Yeah.
gives a series of examples of how dumb he is.
Sure.
And it diffuses everyone's hostility and aggression and anger
It's
and frustration. Yeah.
it's vulnerability at an extraordinary level. And this is what you're thinking. This is what you're kind of pecking around at the edges at here. Let me just go ahead and open up the buffet line. You know,
Yeah.
have at it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to say no. Let's yes and that and see what happens. And how much quicker do we get to what's interesting once we've established the foundation? Fine, I'm a wanker. Okay, let's go with that. We'll be back with more Ted Lasso, I bet, on your next
I bet
database.
we will. Yeah.